So we'll come to the project 1 folder and open cmd, and we'll do here code space dot enter, code space dot press enter, VS Code will open. VS Code will open. Again, you will write call npm start, npm space start, npm space start. Enter. npm space start. npm start command is going to compile your project. After compiling the project, only we can see the output of our page. What is the basic setup is done. Let it compile. Taking a long time. Started brother. Compile successfully. What is not coming? Not coming or not compiling? Check, it says compile successfully. Say no something. Error. What error? Where you run the npm start? In project 1 folder. You have made any modification in this file in src folder yesterday? Go to this folder. In this you did some changes yesterday. Where? In this file or somewhere else? नहीं, इसमें कुछ चेंज किया आपने? नहीं, इसमें उधर app.js में नहीं, index.js में नहीं, कल था कुछ नहीं, open ही नहीं किया. Okay, go again to the cmd. Come down, cannot find the module. React script. Cannot find the model. React script. Okay. Control C. Come down. Okay. Write again. npm start. Wait for some time. Okay. So it's going to run again. Set up again. Right there. npm install. npm install. npm install. Enter. Okay, wait for some time. It was not set up properly because of that. So compilation happened for how many people? If now your page is compiled. Is it printing something in the browser? Come to index.js file. Yesterday we called bootstrap. So we'll not use bootstrap now, we'll use later after getting some idea. So in index.js file, this line you have called delete that line. In index.js file, you wrote one line, import line, delete that line. Bootstrap we will use after half of the syllabus. After getting some idea on React, we'll use the bootstrap. Both will combine together, it will become complex. Deleted? That line is removed. Then now your page will not have any color combination. It will just black and white. Check now, yours is going on or completed. npm start, npm install. Completed. Again write npm start. Create another project then. Right there, npx create react app project 2. Run this command here. Instead of project 1, give project 2, but not in the project 1 folder. Not in project 1 folder, out of the project 1 folder. npx create react app. Space by you. If item react yes, item is a minus app. Create react app project 2 space. अब लिखते थे क्यों लिखते थे? अब लिखते थे कहते हैं क्यों लिखते थे? इंटरव्यू में जाओ कोई बोल रहे तो क्या लिखे थे ना कमांड किसके लिए लिखे थे? आपके लिए लिखे थे ना? जब आप फोटो भी तो नेक्स्ट लिखते रहिए. आज सीख लेंगे कल हो जाएंगे फिर बंगाल हो जाएंगे. npx create react app project 2 कोई जरूरी नहीं है ना सब कुछ याद ही कर लेना. तो जो चीज याद नहीं होने वाला है उसको भी दूसरे को हानि से एक फोटो मोबाइल में फोटो ले लो आप एक. Take a photo in mobile. Okay, and the setup is happening. Let it go. Right here, how to set up. Let's create a file. React developer guide. Create a text file, React developer guide. and in that you write this for everyone. Written. Create a file, no? In that you have to write many things. How to set up project in React. Create a text file and in that you can write it. Create is how to set up the project in React. How to set up the project in React. So number one, install Node.js. Number two, install VS Code editor. Now after that, step number 3, create folder React and open CMD in React folder. Okay, create folder React and open CMD in React folder. Step number 4, run below command. Run in CMD npm install this one. Step number 5, run in CMD npx project React project. Step number 6, cd project 1. cd project 1. Step number 7, npm start to C to compile the project. Compile the project. To compile the project. npm start to compile the project. So till here clear? How to set up a project? Written? I will share you this much in the group also. Okay, send to you in the group also. Next, after that, they will start working from one side. Okay. Now, right below, yesterday when we are looking into the code, the app.js file, you remember what are the methods we have written? First, we have written this way. We have written something like this. First was one tag, H1. It was working fine. It was working fine, no problem. I'm repeating the yesterday session again. Paragraph, when I add one here, you can see error happen. In browser, once I go, it throws the error. Next, after that, we follow the parent tag as a division. We follow the parent tag as a division. So now you have more than one element inside the division. So division becomes a parent tag. All the error is gone. Correct. But again, React says it is not necessary that it should be only predefined tag only. Okay, it can be anything. So we can write here call any user defined tag. We open and we close. Next, still it will work. Still it will work, no problem. Next, after that, we made an empty tag. When you look into the browser, still it will work. Next, after that, instead of empty tag, so how many you saw now? 3 you saw. First one was parent as a predefined. Second one was parent as a user defined. Third one become parent as a empty tag. Right? So in market, these three method people use frequently. Okay. As a parent tag can be any of these three. Next, after that, for interview purpose, we can remember this also. This one. Square bracket, but it is not in use. People not use, become complex. Okay, after every tag, you have to write the comma. If you will not write comma, like the array element, it will throw the error. Now see, this is also working. So this is called a rule of the JSX. Look into this file. Let me revert back it. In this file, you can see this is the JavaScript file, complete JavaScript file, and inside the JavaScript file, HTML code is written. We have not written like this ever in HTML, JavaScript. In JavaScript, HTML code will always come in double quote or single quote. We need to store in a variable. So this is not JavaScript code now. This becomes a JSX. JSX. So we'll write few lines about the JSX. What is that? Rule regulation. Here it is no 4. So those 4 rule regulation will make a note. Okay, next after that, come to your developer guide. The developer guide you have created. Come to the developer guide file, right inside JSX rule. JSX rules. How to write the code of React. Okay, how to write the code of React. JSX is going to help you. Now, inside the JSX, what we are going to follow is first, when we have modified this function app file, correct? So we came from the JavaScript side. So in JavaScript, we write the function and function name. So this app will become as a function in the term of JavaScript. But in React, you will not call it a function. You will call it a component. The function what you call in JavaScript, that is called as a component. Where? Under the React. Okay. So React component will be the combination of JavaScript code as well as HTML code. React component will be the combination of JavaScript code as well as HTML code. Now HTML code, we will not write simply HTML code. HTML code we will write based on these rules, called as a JSX rules. Okay. So in JSX again, multiple rule regulation we follow. How many? 4 we have seen, right? So those 4 we will follow, and after that we will make it something. So first component, what it represent? Component represents something like a function. Okay, component represents something like a function where it will be giving you the return as a HTML code. You can see here, whenever you call the function app, what it will give? It will give as a HTML. Import export, I will be explaining you. First, you write the rule of JSX. What we have and how many we have. JSX is nothing but is called as a JavaScript and this one called as a XML. JavaScript and XML. JavaScript and XML. JavaScript and XML, called as a JSX. Full form of JSX is JavaScript and XML. Now come inside. JSX comes from where? JSX comes from where? JSX comes from here. We have idea of basic JavaScript now. JavaScript will be there, plus HTML code will be there. JavaScript plus HTML. Based on XML rules. XML rules. You will write the JavaScript and HTML together based on which rules? XML rules. Now we will be looking into the you can say XML rule. What is that? XML rule. You remember when you have written one tag, there was no error. When you have written more than one tag, what happened? Some error came, right? So more than one tag when we write, what will happen? Error will come. So that is not problem of JavaScript, and that is also not problem of your React, that is also not problem. It is the rule from where? XML. Okay, so first to write here a sample document for XML, and after that you will come to know in XML what is the rule regulation, and that rule regulation is going to apply to JSX. You three will keep talking together in between, you will not understand. Okay, अब बीच में बात करोगे तो नहीं समझोगे, समझे कि नहीं? पॉजिटिव मैनर में लीजिए, नेगेटिव मैनर है। प्रोजेक्ट 1 और 2 पहले ना वो सब डिलीट कर दिए और फिर से 2 कौन सा प्रोजेक्ट 2? हाँ 1 और 2 दोनों निकाल दिए क्योंकि उसमें भी वही आ रहा था। हाँ तो इंटरनेट प्रॉब्लम है, इंटरनेट स्लो है इसलिए डाउनलोड नहीं हो रहा है। नहीं अब आ गया है ये फिर से ठीक है। धन्यवाद। तो मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ कि अगर आपको आता था उनको समझा देते पीजी में ही, अगर उनको आता तो आपको समझा देते पीजी में ही, यहाँ पे आने की जरूरत ही नहीं होता। आप यहाँ पे आ रहे हो कुछ सीखने के लिए, यस सर नो। तो अगर बीच में बात करोगे तो फिर हम बोलेंगे विंडो से बाहर चला जाएगा, जो कैप्चर करेगा वो समझेगा, नहीं सुनेंगे आप लोग। क्लियर है कि नहीं? अगर आप रिवर्स ऑर्डर में लोगे तो बुरा लगेगा, अच्छा ऑर्डर में लोगे तो समझ में आएगा। ठीक है, तो इसलिए ड्यूरिंग क्लास टाइम यू शुड नॉट स्पीक टू अदर। इसके बाद तो बाकी 24 घंटे है ना, कितने 22 घंटे तो है आपके पास, आप यू कीप टॉकिंग नो। keep talking, keep discussing. You came here to understand something, to learn something. When I'm explaining as I'm talking to you, you are discussing in between. It is the loss for you only. Okay? आपके साथ हो रहा हूँ इंस्टॉल। हाँ ठीक है, आपका हो गया है, योर सेटअप इज डन, आपका हो गया है, तो आप क्यों बात कर रहे हो बीच में? ठीक है, वैसे नहीं करना, राइट? अगर आप बात कर रहे हो बीच में, हम बोल देख करके हम इग्नोर भी कर सकते हैं, बट मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ इसलिए कि आप सुनो, आप समझो, इसलिए आप आए हुए यहाँ पे, राइट? अगर वहीं फ्रेंड से डिस्कस करना था तो पीजी है ना पाए ना, यहाँ पे आने की जरूरत ही नहीं था, राइट? लिसन नो, लिसन, सुनो, आप सुनो, राइट? सुनो, आप नोट्स बनाओ। आप वाई आई एम राइटिंग दिस, आई एम राइटिंग फॉर यू ओनली। मेरे सिस्टम में देखिएगा जितने फोल्डर है सब में है, एवरीवेयर देयर इज अ फाइल कॉल्ड रिएक्ट डेवलपर गाइड। आई शुड ओपन दैट फाइल एंड एक्सप्लेन यू। मैं लिख रहा हूँ, आई एम राइटिंग अगेन, व्हाई? बिकॉज इफ आई विल राइट यू विल राइट, आई एम राइटिंग यू आर टॉकिंग, नो मीनिंग, नो, आई शुड ओपन द ओल्ड फाइल एंड शो यू, दैट्स ऑल। समझना चाहिए यार, लिसन प्रॉपर्ली। ओके, सो राइट इट, व्हाट इज दैट? JSX come from where? JSX come from the three things: JavaScript, HTML plus XML. JavaScript, HTML plus XML. Now I will not go directly to JSX. First I'll guide you what is XML, what is the rule of that. I'll create example, I'll show you. Yes, see, this is the this is the rule. Then I'll come back to where? JSX. Okay, so right here first, sample code for XML. Sample, or maybe write XML example. XML example. Okay, XML example. XML example. Now come inside the XML example and write here. When you write HTML file, what you do in the beginning? You write something HTML. HTML start, HTML end. Right, similar way here, what you are doing? XML start and XML end. Okay, and in between you have to write version. version, version equal to 1.0. Okay, so this is called doc type declaration. You are informing to the system saying like content is here belong to where? XML. Okay, now write. In XML, we are going to assume store some data. User, but I think before writing the XML code, I should write few points on the top. That will be helpful for you. So, okay, let's write here one point called every XML file should have doc type declaration. Every XML file should have doc type declaration. So we have declare here document type. Now you write every XML tags are user defined. XML tags are user defined. Like you can write your own tag. You remember we have written today ABC open, ABC close. That is called what? User defined tag. So it says like XML tags are user defined. So write here a user defined tag called user tag open and user tag close. User tag open, user tag close. So this becomes a what? User defined tag. Okay. Inside then you will say user and user defined both are no. This user can be anything. Okay. So it is just a tag written by us. Now user will have a name. We are going to store under the name tag. Call Ganesh. Close the name tag. User will have their city. Create a city tag. So everything is user defined here. We can write our own. User will have called EDO. Suppose MCA, close the EDO. Okay, user. So as per the point, XML tags are user defined. So what we wrote? Okay, write it slowly. XML tags are user defined. So name, mobile, city, edu, all are which one? User defined. We have written it. So you remember when you have written only H1, it was working. When you have written the paragraph, it's become fail. Now look at here. If you have this much of data, it will work. There is no problem. But if you have one more user, copy paste. If you have one more user like this, if you have one more user like this, it will not work. Why? Because this becomes a separate element and this becomes a separate element. And rule of XML says like you create your own tag, you have full freedom. You write your own value, you have full freedom. But follow one rule. What is that? If you have more than one tag, you cannot leave independently. You have to keep inside the parent tag. Now, for example, we have a name, city, edu. How many? 3 are there. All you kept inside the user. Correct? Now here also name, city, edu, you kept inside the user. But user become how many? User become 2. Again, it will get fail. So you have to keep under the another tag that is called user list. It can be anything. It's not like user and user list only. It can be anything. Just keep inside like this. Now you will get the third point. XML, every XML tags are user defined. So user defined tag you have written. Now inside the XML tag, doc type declaration is required, that we have written. Another point you saw, when you have more than one element, you kept inside the parent. But when you have multiple parent, you kept under the super parent, right? That is this point. Okay. Every XML file should have one parent tag. Every XML file should have one parent tag. Now you look into this file, you will find how many parent tags are there. When was one user, then user was the parent. When become two user, then that becomes a double user, right? Then we kept inside where? User list, correct? User list. Similar way in React also you have seen today when we have modified our yesterday also. When there was only one tag, it was working. But when you kept more than one tag, what happened? Error happened. Though we kept inside the division, correct? So division was as a predefined tag. Division was as a predefined tag. Okay. Now XML says like it is not necessary that you can use predefined tag. XML rules say you can create your own tag. So what we did? We opened the ABC and closed the ABC. That belong to where? XML rules. Right? After that, another rule of React says like it is not necessary that it will be only user defined. It can be empty also. Empty open and empty close. Right? So now if you write the rule of JSX, it will be helpful for you. Okay. Here again, one more line you can write. Okay. XML tags are case sensitive. Case sensitive. TIV. Case something I wrote. Okay. Case sensitive. XML tags are case sensitive. XML tags are case sensitive. Now, through example, we will understand really what point we have written. It is right or wrong. Okay. So I have written this much. We are going to create a XML file and understand whether really this is valid or invalid. So XML tags are case sensitive. That is not proved still. But XML files should have one parent tag. This here, that is approved. After that, XML tags are user defined. That is approved. XML documents should have doc type declaration. That is also valid. But whether really it is case sensitive or not, we don't know still. Okay. Through example, we'll come to know. Okay, written. Copy this much and create a file test.xml. Test.xml. Create a file test.xml. Test.xml. This much of code will copy and will paste under the test.xml file. No space in the beginning. Okay. XML doc type declaration where you are writing no space before that. Save this file. Test.xml anywhere you can write. Test.xml. Save it. Now run in the browser directly. See, is it printing anything? Run this code in the browser directly. You can see. I'll run from here. It is printing something. Check. Yours also looks similar. You have written in the previous file. You should copy paste. Running. I'll show you that. What is that? XML tags are case sensitive. When I run my file, everything is well, it's happening. I'll go here and one tag, like suppose name tag. I have started with a small, I'll try to close with a capital. N I'll keep as a capital. Now, name is a small, whereas closing of the name, N is capital. When I run it, is throw the error. Okay. That represent XML tags are case sensitive. Okay, so in React, if you open the H1 capital, you should close the H1 as a capital only. So not close as a small. So in React also the tags are case sensitive. Right? So you saw when we run the page, it was throwing the error. Why? Because I have made the one tag as a mismatch. Uppercase I have closed. So it says like if your tag is open, as a small and closing capital, what will happen? Tags are case sensitive, it will not work out. Right? So how many points was there? Total 4 points were there. Not running? Running. दिखाओ आप, I'll guide you. Show me. You keep anywhere, just run directly in the browser. You have written properly. Okay, go to the folder. You know where is the folder? This file where you have created. Go there and run from there. That is SRC, no? Go inside SRC. Click on last file, test.exe. Select that. Okay, now come to the JSX role now. Come to the JSX next. Now what we wrote here, how many points you wrote? Here written the point, the tags will be case sensitive, tags will be user defined, as well as everywhere we have to follow a parent tag, as well as every file there must be only one parent tag. So 3-4 points we are written. Now look at the XML JSX rule. The first point you can write in the JSX rule, the first point you can write. The first line of JSX rule you can write. What is that? If inside a component, if inside a component more than one JSX element, more than one tags are required. Then use parent tag. Then keep inside parent tag. Then keep inside parent tag. Okay. If inside a component more than one tags are required, then keep inside a parent tag. That in XML also you have seen the same thing. When you are using the multiple tags, you cannot use directly. You must have to keep inside where? Parent tag. For example, we can write here, assume one division tag open and division tag is closed. Inside that, we write one H1 about us and close the H1, P tag open close, write inside something ABCD and close the P tag, right? A small text I'll write here, not very huge text. Okay. One more P tag, one more P tag, right? So you saw we use more than one tag. After that, what we follow? H1 is H1 is 1. After that, multiple paragraph we have. So this becomes a more than one element. So if inside one component, if you are going to use more than one element, you cannot write directly. You must have to keep under the parent tag. Okay. So that happens this. In your React part also you have seen the same thing. Here, when we have used more than one tag, what we follow? We follow the parent tag. Okay. Come now, write the second one. So first we have written. Write the second one. What is that? In case if inside a component more than one tags are required, then the parent tag can be user defined also. The parent tag can be user defined also. Something like this. Copy and add here. And right here call ABC tag open and right here call ABC tag is closed. So this become according to XML rule. If you have more than one tag, you have to keep in under the parent. That is one rule from the XML. Another tool from XML says like, it is not necessary that it will be only predefined. It can be user defined tag also. So that what we follow, we wrote ABC open and ABC is closed. ABC tag open, ABC tag is closed. Now coming down, the third rule, what we have? The third rule we have that when you are creating the again page and because of any predefined tag or because of user defined tag, if your UI is getting break, if design is getting disturbed, then no problem. We can use a empty tag also. That will not give any kind of design related problem, will not give any UI related problem. So that is called third point. If inside a component more than one tags are required, if inside a component more than one tags are required, then the parent tag then the parent tag can be empty tag also. The parent tag can be empty tag also. So what is that? Example, we can add this point. And there, instead of this, we can write like this. If inside a component more than one tags are required, then inside a component more than one tags are required, then the parent tag is compulsory, whereas parent tag can be predefined, parent tag can be user defined, and parent tag can be empty. Okay, so how many rules? 3 rules. 3 way we can write the JSX. Now fourth one. Write the fourth point. Okay. If inside a component more than one tags are required, then the parent tag can be array also. Can be array also. Parent tag can be array also. That's something like this. That's something like this. The square bracket open, a square bracket is close, and you know already in JavaScript, a square bracket represent the array, and inside the array, elements will come, and after every element, comma will come. So here, this is also an array only, whereas H1 is the first element. After H1, comma is required. Paragraph, second element, comma is required. Second paragraph, third element, comma is required. Last paragraph, no need to give the comma because after that there is no further element. Okay. So this total 4 ways you have to write the JSX. In that note you can write 1 to 3rd are more in use. 1 to 3rd are in use. One to third are in use. First, second, and third people use much. Fourth is only for interview purpose. If anyone asks, you can tell them, yes, this is also the rule. Okay, hope written. Now we'll come to the React part. In React file, I'll come in the React file. So it's a simple, right? It's not difficult. Simple, we can remember. Just while writing itself, I hope you have remember. Come to the next. That is called your React part. In React now, you can see the function keyword you have used. Function name is called app, open and close, right? So this complete area will be called as a component in React. And what type of component? We have two type of component. So you can write it is just look like it's a function. It is called as a functional component. Okay. It is called as a functional component. We have one more called class component, but people not use in the market nowadays. People use functional component. Now let's come inside this file. Few points are important to understand. What is that? Suppose if I comment this line, then you can see app become as a function. In JavaScript, you remember while writing the definition of the function, what you write? Function name, curly bracket, open close inside the statement. Whether we write document.getRead by ID or we write console.log, something we wrote. This function is saying like, whenever you call me, I will return something. Means I'll give you something. What I'll give you? One division. Inside division, what will be there? One H1 and one P tag. Whenever you call this function, it will give a division. And that division will have H1 and paragraph. Now question is how many times you can call this function? In JavaScript, how to call the function? Function name, semicolon. This way you call the function. When you call this function here, what it will return? It will give you one division. If I call this function again, what it will return? Same data or not? Same H1 and paragraph it will print. If I call this function again, what it will print? Same data. So function you wrote one time, and how many times you are calling? One time or three times? Three times. Say no, three times or one time? Three times, right? You have written the function one time and you are calling three times. So how many times you are using it? You are using three times? Where one time? When you call this is also used. This is call also used. This is also call used, right? So whenever you call, you are using that. You are calling it. It will give you something. So write once and use many times. How many times you are written? Only one time. You are writing one time and calling three times. When you call, it will give the H1 and paragraph. Whenever you call it, it will give H1 and paragraph. Correct? So in React term, in the term of React, it is called as a reusable. How many times you are using below? Three times. So when you write a function one time, when you call one time, two times, three times, 100 times, what is called? That is called reusability. You write once and you call many times. In JavaScript, you have alert function, you remember? Leave or alert. Okay, suppose you have forget the alert. You remember console.log? How many times you write? One time or many times? Multiple times. That is called reusability. It's written one time somewhere and we are keep calling many times. That is called what? Reusability. But in the term of React, the function what we have written here, it's written one function app, it's called a component. And this is, if you look in the JavaScript point of view, it's become as a function. So this function you can call one time, two time, three time, 100 time. How many times you want to call it. Correct? So when you are calling one time you are using. If you are calling two time you are using. If you are calling three time you are using. Right? That is called what? Reusability. Write once and use many times. So in component definition, the word will come, React provide the component reusability. Reusability, what is that? It is function you have written one time and you are calling many times. That is called as a reusability. Okay. Now I will be removing this line from here. Now look at here. In this file, the function is written. Function is written in this file. Component is written in this file. Okay. But where it is using, we don't know. Or suppose you have written one function in one file, you may have a requirement that you call this function in another file also. If you have written in one file, you can call in different file also. Anywhere throughout the project you can call, right? That will be called as what? Reusability. Now let us look at the next point. Below line is written export. Okay. Export word, what represent in your mind? Export word, what represent? Export meaning is what? Bringing or sending? Export meaning is what? Sending. Correct? If suppose someone will not send, you cannot bring it. Like suppose from other country, you are buying a car. If the country will not allow to export, will you bring it? No. So when someone is allowing to send, that's called as a import. That's called as a export, not import. Called as a export. And when someone is able to bring it, that is called as a import. Right? So here in React, frequently you are going to use import and export. Import and export. What is the import and export? You will write a function in one file and you will use the function in somewhere else, in some other file. Right? So now suppose you have written the function in this file and you want to use somewhere else. If you will not allow the function to use somewhere else, will you able? You cannot use it. So the function is written here and it is saying call as a, what is called as a export app. That meaning you are permitting the app function, you are giving the permission to app function saying like anyone can call it. Anyone can call it. That word represent what? Export. Export word represent you are allowing that function to call somewhere else. It is not only function. It will be as a class also. It will be a variable also. It will be an array also. It can be anything written in one file and you are trying to use in another file. So when you are trying to use in another file, you have to send it. And for sending purpose, you have to use the keyword called export. Default word, assume like, is a word that is given by React. Once we come further, once we come under the state management, then I'll guide you why we have written called default. At this moment, there is no solid proof to say this is because of reason default is required here. Okay, but assume like yes, without default you can't call it. Once we come under the state management of React, there I'll guide you why the keyword is representing as a default. Now come to the next file. Where this app function is using, that place we need to see. Look at the index.js. Go to the index.js. Inside the index.js, one line is written import app from somewhere. From where? /app, right? So this is .js file. // is written because it represents the current folder. / represents the current folder. So within the current folder, it is looking a file called app.js. And inside the app.js, one function is written. That function name is called which one? App. But in the term of React, you will not call it a function. You will call it a component. Okay. In app.js, one component is there. That component name is called app. So what is importing? It is importing app function from app.js within the current folder. Okay. For current folder, / is applied. App.js is the name of the file. And import app is nothing but app is a name of a component, name of a function. So here it is able to import Why? Because there it is written called export. There in the app.js file, export keyword is added, means permission is given, allowed. It's allowed that you can call it. Because of that, you are able to bring it. Okay. Import keyword call is a import represent as a bringing, and export represent as a sending. If suppose someone is not allowed to send, or suppose someone is not sending, you can't bring it. Okay, right? So both words are interlinked. When you do the import, it must be export. If export is not there, you cannot import it. Okay. If people ask, you can say, in React, we have reusability feature. We can write a function, a variable, a class one place, and we can access throughout the project. So if suppose a variable function is written in one file and we want to access in another file, we have to send it. And for sending purpose, we have to use the keyword called export. And where we want to call it, there we have to call import. So import and export is nothing but it related to sending and receiving. Okay, writing one place and using another place. Come down. After that, so till here it's clear. Where is the code? Code is written in which file? App.js. And where it is calling function? Under the index.js. Now from index.js, where it is going, that is also matter to understand. Okay. Restrict mode is written here. I'll remove from my system for some time to make you clear what is happening at this point. Okay. In your system, let it be. Just I have modified little. I made it a little small. Okay. Now look at here. What is this point is representing again? Function was written in app.js file. From app.js file, you imported under the index.js file. You called under the index.js file. But in index.js file, how it is printing? That is the matter. Now look at here. One line is written here. Document.getElement by ID, call it a root. Okay. So this line we are aware of in JavaScript what is do. It is locating a element. It is locating, searching a element. Which element? Those element, those tag whose ID is root. Now you find out where is the root. Okay. There must be a division. There may be a paragraph. There may be a section tag. There may be something whose ID is root. That is available under the public folder. Go to the public folder. You have a file called index.html. Open that file. Index.html, open that file. In index.html file, come down under the body, you will find a division ID equal to root. Right? So we found where is the root. The root is available under the index.html. And where it is calling under the index.js. Now look at here. It says like document.getElement by ID called root. React DOM.create root, right? What is doing at this point is it is trying to locate where this particular element is available. If element is found, then inside that element, render function represents a printing. Render function, what it represent? Print something. Okay. So it says wherever this root element is exist, under the root element, render. What render? App. Then you will ask, in JavaScript we write the function like this. In JavaScript we write the function like this. Correct? Here it is calling like this something. Yes, it will call like this only. So this is called as a, hold on. This is called as a function calling in JavaScript. And here app component calling in which one? JSX. Your function itself is called as what? Component. Now component In React, how you will call? Just like the independent app. App is the name of a function. But if you want to call in the term of JavaScript, you will call like this. But if you are calling under the React, how will you call? Just like the independent app. BR, HR. Correct? Look at here. So what is happening? Your content is available in app.js. From app.js, it is going to index.js. And from index.js, it is printing under which element? Those elements that ID is root, where it is under the public.html file, under the, index.html file under the public folder, right? So whatever the content you write under the app.js file, from app it will go to the where? Index.js, and from index.js it will go to index.html, and from the beginning I'm guiding you, browser will deal with HTML. Browser will not deal with directly where? JavaScript. Right or wrong? Photo you want to see? Let me show you some photo. This is your class photo only. Look at here. This is the user. We are the user. We are interacting with the browser. Now this browser is interacting with which file? Index.html. In which folder? Public folder. And index.html getting the data from index.js, and index.js is getting the data from other JS, that is called app.js, right? Next, app.js will get the data from multiple places. That is the next level to learn. Okay, so what is the flow? This is not the React flow. This is the flow of your complete UI, front end to back end. Okay, but I wanted to explain you, browser deal with where? HTML. HTML is dealing with the JavaScript, right? So now if I come here, I should write the flow like this. You have the user here. User interaction is happening to which file? User is interacting to the browser always. Okay, browser is dealing with the index.html. This index.html is getting the data from where? Index.js. And this index.js is getting the data from where? App.js. Now in app.js will get the data from different JS file. App.js will get the data from different JS file here. We'll have login page, we'll have sign up page, we have register page, we'll have multiple pages will be there, and all the pages will give the data to app.js. App.js will give to the index, and index will give to the HTML. HTML will give to the browser, and browser will give to whom? User. Right? So we will start working from here. From where? App.js onwards. We'll create a file called login.js, and login.js will import under the app. We'll create a file home.js, and home.js import under the app. You will create a file product.js and import under the app. So your file create and import under the app. App is already dealing with the index, and index is dealing with the browser and all, everything, right? So we will be creating the component and we will be passing till where? App, right? I may have some other photo also somewhere. I'll show you. We will be doing that next class work. Where I should go? I should go to the some completed folder. I have deleted all completed folder. So then I'll go to the somewhere called 11 AM. Right, in this I have a React folder. Under the React folder, I have another DFD. See this design. What you discuss now, same thing is here, especially for React. User interaction happen to browser. Browser interacting to public folder. In public folder, index.html. Index.html is dealing with the index.js. Index.js will deal with the app.js. Now app.js will get the data from login, from sign up, from user list, from product list, from dashboard. This all the JS file will deal with the app, and app will deal with the further. Now the matter will be to make application dynamic. User list will bring the data from API and give to whom? App. Product will bring the data from API and give to app. Dashboard will get the data from API and give to app. Sign up will give the data to whom? API. Login will get the data from where? App API and give to whom? App. App is dealing with the again front end, right? So this photo I will be redesigning again next class, and after that I'll guide you the next where to create the file, how to create and how to link. Okay. So first, now what you understood? JSX. How many ways you can write? 4 ways. If you have only one element, then no problem. If you have more than one tag, then what will follow? Many things. If you have more than one tag, then we'll write call. We can use predefined tag as a parent. We can use user defined tag as a parent. We can use empty tag as a parent, and we can use as a square bracket also as a parent, right? Next, after that, what you saw? You saw like what is the meaning of XML, and inside the XML, what are the rule regulation? XML tags are case sensitive. XML will have file declaration. XML will have user defined tags. After that, XML tags are case sensitive. While writing the JSX code, we will follow this and all. H1 will open a small only close. You will not close the capital. Division open a small only will close. ABC open a small, close small only, right? And if you open, you must have to close it. If you are not closing, it will give you the error. Okay. Right. So let's see you on not tomorrow. Next class will be on Monday. Okay.